Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some massive new information to go over for the Indigo Disk DLC. Huge data mines have dropped, confirming the 25 plus legendary Pokemon that are going to be available in the second part of the Hidden Treasure of Area 0 DLC. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it does really help out. Leave a comment, what are your thoughts on the 25 plus returning legendaries? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we're going back to a tweet from Riddler where he was posting images of Spectria and Enamorus saying, "Are you ready?" And of course it was the shiny forms as well. So we took this to mean that Spectria and Enamorus were going to be back, two of the returning legendary Pokemon that were going to be shiny huntable in the Indigo Disk DLC. However though, there has since been a follow-up tweet to this saying, "Oops, seems like Enamorus didn't make it." According to a Chinese data miner, which is a legitimate data miner as well, this is information from the game code, this isn't like a leak or anything, all 25 legendary static encounters have been leaked, which of course we aren't going to go over in today's video. He then followed up saying, "Maybe it's not appropriate to call them static. All in all, they are the ones available to catch in-game without home or 7-star raids." And then we have a little bit more of a follow-up here. We have Lord of the Coast here saying, "So will the rest that aren't in-game encounters be raid events?" And we have Riddler saying, "Like Mewtwo, it seems like that." And then obviously I see that seems cool. "Can you share any more information about the method we used to catch the ones in game?" I teased the method, check our former post. The only thing that he's teased about the legendaries is the whole vending machine situation, so it might have something to do with that. But yeah, it looks like the 25 plus legendaries that we're going to go over today are static, and the rest are probably going to be available in 7-star raids. So, what are these legendary Pokemon? So, we have Zhan here. This is the actual data mine. This was what the Chinese Riddler posted on the forums, the message boards, whatever. And this is the list. So 25 static encounters. So legendary birds, the legendary beasts, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Latias, Latios, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, the Swords of Justice, Zekrom, Reshiram, Kyurem, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, Kubfu, Spectria, and Glastrier. The total being 25. So this is a better image of it here posted by Makio and J Roses, saying the list of legendary Pokemon that will be available as static encounters in the DLC 2 have been data mined. So this list is not final and may be subject to change. Very unlikely though, because the DLC is literally out in a couple of weeks. And this is data mined information. I mean, it could change, obviously, but it's looking very unlikely that it will change. Some of these Pokemon may be version exclusive. These Pokemon will probably be available in raid encounters. These are not the only returning legendaries available in the game, but there will definitely be other legendaries or mythical Pokemon that will be transferable via home. So, obviously, we have Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Latias, Latios, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion. We have Zekrom, oh my god, what's its name? Reshiram, Kyurem, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, and then Kubfu, Spectria, and Glastrier. So this obviously raises a massive issue. Because these are static legendary Pokemon, they are most likely going to be shiny huntable, because that's just usually the case with statics. Not all the time, but it is likely the case that these are going to be shiny huntable. However though, the only Pokemon from these 25 that have not previously been able to be found as a shiny are the last three, being Kubfu, Spectria, and Glastrier. They are the only new Pokemon that are going to be shiny huntable basically in the Indigo Disk DLC. So there's nothing here about Zacian, Zamazenta, Eternatus, Calyrex isn't there either. It looks like all of those are going to be available in 7-star raids, which also raises another point. Are they going to be shiny huntable? Because no shiny Pokemon have been available in 7-star raids prior to the Indigo Disk, like even the Mewtwo event and stuff that wasn't shiny huntable. So we're just kind of guesstimating that the 7-star legendary raids are also not going to be shiny huntable. So that means that a lot of the returning legendaries from Generation 8 are still not going to be shiny huntable, even though they are most likely going to be returning in Generation 9, which is really, really unfortunate. Obviously, I'm very happy about Kubfu. Obviously, Urshifu as well will be shiny huntable, I assume, if you just evolve Kubfu. Spectre and Glacier is cool to obviously be able to shiny hunt, but the rest of them, it doesn't look like it. The other bad thing about this list is that a lot of these Pokemon are already in the game. Like Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, they are already in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You can transfer them via Pokemon Home, which is really, really unfortunate because it just means that it just kind of takes up a spot. You know, I know that Zacian and Zamazenta are as well, but I'd much rather Zacian and Zamazenta take like Kyogre and Groudon's spot because they, yes, were available as a shiny through a event, but if you miss that event, you won't have them. So same as like Eternatus as well, like that's not been shiny huntable yet. I'd much rather have that as a static encounter instead of Rayquaza and just have Rayquaza in a raid. So yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate in terms of like shinies and stuff like that. We obviously have a little bit more information about it here from Jan. So obviously that's all the total 25. According to Chinese social media, that's the content of these 25 static encounters. Note, this should include version exclusives, which means you shouldn't be able to catch all 25 in one version. Don't ask me how we catch the remaining legendaries. And then obviously this is the original post. So yeah, a lot of these will be version exclusive as well. Your most likely ones are going to be like Kyogre, Groudon, a version exclusive, Lugia, Ho-Oh, a version exclusive, Latias, Latios. When there's like two, that's usually when they're like split up and stuff. Like I'm assuming Spectre and Glacier will also be version exclusive as well. So if you obviously have only one copy, but you need both shinies, you'll have to get the other copy and you'll have to get the DLC as well. So it's going to be a lot of money to spend if, you know, you're going for one shiny like Glacier that's not available in, like, let's say you've got Violet and you want both shinies, you'd obviously have to buy Scarlet and the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, which is even more annoying because that's like just paywalling one shiny Pokemon because there's only 3 that are going to be available as shinies. So they are all of the confirmed, like I say, pretty much confirmed. The list could change, but it's very, very unlikely with this close, being this close to the Indigo Disk DLC. But yeah, I think it's a bit of an L. I think it's a bit of an L from Game Freak. I'm not going to sit here and defend them. I'm not a fan of this list, and I'm not a fan of the fact that a lot of the Generation 8 legendaries are not going to be shiny huntable. Like, there's no Regidrago here, there's no Regieleki. I know those were shiny huntable, but obviously you had to buy the DLC for both of those as well. There is no, what else isn't there here? Trying to think off the top of my head. Obviously Calyrex that I've already spoken about. The Galarian birds aren't here either. You know, if you didn't get those as shinies, they're not in this list, which is really, really unfortunate. So yeah, it does suck in my opinion. And yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to integrate the raids and stuff into it. I'm not sure if they're going to be like events that we have to wait for, and they're just going to do a legendary raid every now and again, or they're going to make them available like Dynamax Adventures. If there were Dynamax Adventures like things, that would be fine because you would still be able to shiny hunt them and stuff like that. But we're just guessing because of what Riddler-Ku has said as well with 7-star raids. We're guessing that they're back in 7-star raids. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Are you happy or are you annoyed with the selection that are going to be static Pokemon? And again, these are all pretty much going to be behind quests as well. We have to do a quest in order to get this static legendary Pokemon because that is also being in the data mines. Be like, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm a bit upset about it, but it is what it is. We'll have to see if they're shiny huntable in raids and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Pokemon like Typenol as well also aren't available, you know. And we also know the Ultra Beasts aren't available either. So it's going to be unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. Moving on, we also have this post to go over from Riddler-Ku as well, which, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt in terms of what they're going to be doing, but this is something that is happening in the background. So we have Riddler-Ku here posting, saying the cats, obviously Sprigatito, Ilka is working on a new game. And then the duck, obviously, ... And then the croc, Fuecoco, out of the picture. We've got to be joking. So Ilka are working on a new game. No idea if it's a Pokemon game. It most likely is because of just the context that he's using it here, the image that he's used and stuff like that. So this also raises quite a few questions. If Ilka are working on a game for next year, is that just going to be like Generation 5 remakes? And then we're also going to have like a Let's Go Johto or a Legends Kyurem or something like that? Is it going to be very similar to the BDSP Legends Arceus situation, which I wouldn't be mad about? Like, I would love a Legends Kyurem. And yeah, BDSP weren't fantastic, but it did enable like a lot of like legendaries to be shiny, mythicals to be shiny, stuff like that, and hopefully they would learn from the mistakes and make it a lot better than BDSP. And as well as that, it might not even be Generation 5 remakes. They could very much work on Let's Go Johto, because Let's Go Johto would be a very simple game to make, and they would already have like the software and stuff from Game Week, from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So literally they would just apply that to Johto, and if they worked on Let's Go Johto and we got like a Legends Kyurem, I would be very happy. That would be two really, really cool games to see. A lot of people do want Let's Go Johto. I'd be fine with Let's Go Johto if we had another Pokemon game as well. I don't think Let's Go Johto is big enough in like the sense of replayability and stuff like that to carry Pokemon for like a whole year, whereas a game like Legends Kyurem plus Let's Go Johto definitely would into next year, which we're probably going to get a new Pokemon game for the next Nintendo console, and then obviously Generation 10 the year after. But yeah, I mean, obviously you see Ilka working on a Pokemon game and immediately you're like, oh no, this is bad. But I don't think it's actually going to be that bad if they are working on something alongside Pokemon. As long as Pokemon release something as well as Ilka, we're going to be absolutely happy with that, because the fact that we got BDSP allowed Legends Arceus to be a reality, and so that's why, like, I'm not going to throw a lot of shade on BDSP. The game itself wasn't great, but because Game Freak didn't work on it, it paved the way for Legends Arceus to be made, and that could be the same situation, but instead of Gen 5 remakes, we might get Let's Go Johto, and then we also might be getting a Legends Kyurem, or a Paradox Unova game, or Black and White 3, or maybe something like that. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, Ilka look like they are going to be working on a game behind the scenes, so it's going to be interesting what that is going to be. But I guess I'm even more excited for February now, because if Ilka are working on a new Pokemon game, that means that the Pokemon Presents in February on Pokemon Day is going to hopefully announce 2 games again, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be very, very happy with that. But anyway, that is going to be everything for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we covered today. What are your thoughts on the returning legendary Pokemon? What's your thoughts on the selection? Again, I'm not going to make my final judgment until we see what the raid situation is, because if these 7-star raids are in terms of like a Dynamax Adventure situation, then they should be shiny huntable. I'd be happy with that. But if they're not, and it's just like an event-themed legendary raid that happens like every couple of weeks, and these are the only ones that you can shiny hunt, I'd be a little bit upset about that. But we'll have to wait and see. Of course, the list isn't finalized. Hopefully, there's a few more. It's unlikely, but never say never. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like I say, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.